All right, we back at it again. League Podcast Season 4, Week 1 through 4 recap. Got Bagwork 95, excuse me. Pro Coach Hooper. Said that backwards. Hooper. Pro Hooper. Coach. Mr. Get Your Hezzy right. Bagwork 95, how you doing today, man?
We doing good, man. Coming off two tough L's, so if I'm a little salty, don't be too mad. But blessed to be here.
Glad to hear it. We want all the real emotions, so don't sugarcoat it. This is what we need. We need you a little hot to tell it how it is. To the other co-hosts, my up, you're right. My left, you're down. All sorts of backwards today. Coach of Clemson, Fries, how you doing today, man?
Going on, man? Doing great. Happy to be here. Coming off a tough loss too, but no salt in my game, man. I'm just happy to be here and excited to talk some ball.
Yes, sir. We'll get to it. It seems like you starting out strong. We're not gonna spill no juice, but it seems like you've been watching Space Jam and got a hold of MJ's secret stuff. So we'll get to that in a second. Before we get moving, bag work. We see you've been heavy on the Battlefield 6. What class you rocking? What gun you rocking?
Yo, man, Battlefield is a great game, I must say. I mean, I know everyone's kind of hip, but it's my first Battlefield I ever got. That game is top tier. I probably will never go back to COD, honestly, unless it's for like zombies. I mess with the Warzone way more, but I'm basic. As I said, I'm new, so there's a bunch of better things to be doing than what I'm doing. But I mostly rock assault, and I'll get a nice LMG going or a assault rifle. You know what I'm saying? And kind of just try to brute force my way through everybody.
Gotcha. Fries,
I
you
mean, getting
on?
nice with the tanks though too. I can't fly shit though.
Oh,
Can't fly the planes.
vehicles.
Can't fly the helicopters. But
Fries.
but I'm getting all right with the tank.
Yes, sir. You on the Battlefield 6 at all?
No, sir, not for me, man. I know my limitations. I'm a sports game player. That's it. I might play some Fortnite a little bit, just for some vibes, but nah, I'm on
Okay.
sports games only.
Wow.
Boo.
Now let's be real.
Boo.
No build Fortnite, or
Boo.
you just
We usually rock that zero bill when we play.
okay? Okay. Respect,
Just
respect.
because I don't know, it's what we do. But
We
yeah,
play
man.
no build because we're not good at building. What do
Yeah,
you
it's pretty
mean?
much. I don't want to say that, but yeah, it's pretty much.
Wow.
That's what's going on there. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He definitely fresh off them L's right now. Okay, we got it. We gonna switch it up a little different. We're gonna go through conference standings and then look at the teams that way, and then we'll still touch on the top 25 afterwards. But we'll start in the ACC with Ole Miss and take a quick peek at their schedule. They got two forced wins versus Alabama and Miami, but a good win versus UCLA, and then took a L versus Tennessee. Not too many user games so far, but Fries, do you expect the runner-up from last season to continue his run that he was on last year? Boise State, Baylor, Auburn, and Florida are his next four.
I think he had a kind of a soft upcoming four, and I mean, Ole Miss takes care of business. I think he is what we described him as, a pretty solid player. Maybe not an elite player. I haven't seen that yet, but I think he beats who he's supposed to beat, and he plays like the upper tier of players. Seems like he's kind of a little bit out of his weight. I mean, he beat me in the playoffs, so I'm not no hate, but I think he's right in that maybe like a step down from that upper tier.
Yes, sir. Bagwork, do you think he continues his run or his consistency from last season?
it'll be interesting. You know what I mean? I think that UCLA is not having a good year for whatever reason. They made some big noise in their first year in the league last year and have struggled out the gate. So that's a real good win at UCLA. But we'll see, how good of a win it really is as the season progresses. And then, we had a Natty national championship runner up. I mean, rematch on the road at Tennessee is one of the, if not the toughest place to play in the league. So, no shame in that L. Plenty of people who are at the top of the league are taking that L the same way. So, but yeah, as we move on down the schedule, I mean, we'll get to the Florida situation. Um, you know, Baylor's up and down. That'll be an interesting one. He gets them at home, but if he can get the Baylor win, at Texas will be tough, and versus A&M is the next real challenges, and Georgia's another one that's not too easy, but like Frau said, I mean, he has a pretty light schedule just in general. I mean, the 3 Texas schools, will all be tests, but they're not the toughest tests you could have. And he's playing Georgia at home. Georgia, as you see, is 0-5 based on record. One of the worst players in the league. And he's got him at home. If he was at Georgia, if it was in Athens, I might be a little bit more worried. But yeah, light schedule. I mean, should make the playoffs, I think. I mean, if he wins 1 out of 3 versus the Texas schools, he's in. So
yes, sir. Good to hear. It seems like he's still top of the ACC right now. As things are looking, let's schedule by this. See if Baylor had enough. Yep, Baylor got all 4 user games. Tough loss versus Oregon, who seems to be on a roll. Got a win versus the Colorado user. Big upset win on the road in Columbus versus Ohio State. And then came back home and took the L to Auburn to give Auburn their first win. Bagward, what you got for this the inconsistency, the up and down, the big win, and then the big loss at home?
Yeah, I mean, he said it in your interview that you had. It's kind of just a play. I think a lot of it's a play style thing. Like the offensive, just raw talent is there, as shown in the Ohio State game, and but it's just I watched the Oregon game, and he just wasn't solid. He threw like 4 or 5 picks. Is the real reason that game is the scores like that. I mean, it wasn't really Oregon doing anything special as much as it was just him throwing the ball all over the place. So yeah, 5 interceptions. I mean, and probably 3 of those were he probably threw a pick his first 3 drives in a row. So can't win like that. And but when he's locked in and he's in a rhythm, he's tough to stop. As you see, he beats Ohio State on the road. I mean, that's a huge win. But then to come home and lose to Auburn, who was winless before that game, is probably an embarrassing loss. So I mean, we'll see how the season goes for him. Plus, his roster is not the best at the end of the day, so a lot of these games are an uphill battle to start with. So he's gonna have to be extra solid because of that. I don't know if he's necessarily favored in any of these games coming up in this conference. You know what I mean? So at least those next 4 for sure. Those 4 are gonna make or break his season. He's gonna have to win, and he's got J-Ross sitting down there at the bottom, who's always sneaky. So those next 4, he's got to win. I mean, ideally 3 of those, but minimum 2 of those. So
yes, sir.
Might be tough.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Frost, how do you feel about his up and down coming from Ohio State to Taken, which would probably, it's going to sound odd, his worst loss of the season so far, just because that was his first conference game?
Yeah, I think it kind of does go back to his interview. I'm thinking about it, and he was just saying sometimes he gets almost bored, isn't locked in week to week or even within the game. And when I was picking my Survivor pick, I picked him and lost my Survivor. I should have factored that in because it definitely
mark that down real quick.
Yeah, definitely. I was gonna give myself an X already, but it definitely shows though, because I mean, at Ohio State is just a great win. It's a fantastic win, and then to come back and just give up 44 to Auburn, who was winless. That's man.
Yep.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah, it is tough, but we'll see how the rest of it goes. It's still a tough conference, but we got to keep on moving. Take a quick peek at Texas A&M schedule. They got the early win versus Penn State. Took a L to Michigan. Another L to LSU. And do we know if this game will get played, or this is the one at 3:30? Today?
3:30.
It's actually 3:30, like the game says. That's what's up.
So we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see
it's a
how
big
that
one.
rolls. Bad work. How do you feel about Texas A&M?
I mean, he's solid, bro. I just played him in another league and he beat me. Luckily I skated by him as you see last week and in this league, but he's solid, man. It's gonna be a really good game between him and Oregon. They were at one point in time in the same conference and went to a conference championship and battled it out. So it'll be interesting. But he needs this win, and it's gonna be a tough one to get. On the road, Oregon's been rolling. Only loss Oregon has is to Zev. He really needs to go 2-2 here just to set him up down the stretch because the new South Carolina user is decent. J. Roth is decent. Those are going to be tricky games for him. Same with at Baylor is going to be a tricky one. And still Ole Miss, Florida, Texas. So I mean, his schedule's only getting tougher. And with two losses already turning into three, that might doom him for the rest of the season. So this game at 3:30 is going to be a huge one.
Yes, sir. Franz, do you see him rounding out maybe a top 3 finish in the ACC?
Based on his schedule, I guess today's gonna go a long way in saying that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't win today, I'm gonna say no. I think it all hinges on kind of today's outcome because I think he could get that done heavily just for his, just getting into his flow and rhythm because you go to 1-3 season is just very much on the line. So we'll see after today.
Yes, sir.
0-0 in conference though at the end of the day after this, and I mean that conference is getting a little bit tighter though. Like if you go back, can you go back one screen? To the conference screen, it's I mean, Ole Miss is probably the most solid, I would say, but you look at the rest of them. I mean, everyone has 2 losses. This conference is going to be tight. I still, even more so than before, we thought it was. We said I think the first time it's like a 3-team thing. I mean, now it's looking like it's kind of wide open because, I still think Florida can turn that around at any moment. They could easily have a great conference after having an absolutely abysmal out of conference. Baylor can beat anybody in here easily. So can Texas. And that's home or on the road. I mean, Texas just got a huge win. I'm sure we'll get down to them, but Auburn beat Baylor, so if they can beat Baylor, they can beat the rest of these dudes. And J. Roth, he's another one who any given day. So this conference is tight. I don't even know who's going to be the second team to come out of this conference at this point. I mean, I think Ole Miss makes it. I think they're solid, but I don't know what the rest of this conference is going to shake out to be at all. The only people with conference losses are Baylor, who I think has a chance to finish in the top, and Miami, who also could finish in the top. So I mean, those two dudes have losses already out of anybody. So it's going to be tricky, and these games dudes are going to be locked in for these games for sure. So
yes, sir. Take a quick peek at Texas before we move on through just the overall view of the ACC. Took an early loss to Michigan, coming off a bye to go on the road at Nebraska. Always a tough. Got a forced dub against Alabama. Hope to see them back soon. And then got a win at UCLA. So, Fries, to Miami, Oklahoma, Baylor, or Oklahoma's not conference for?
No, it's not a conference for him.
Okay. Fries, how do you feel like his next couple can go to see him start that conference play?
Yeah, I think they'll be tight games. You guys say at Miami? Is that where he's going? You got to go at Miami,
Yep,
which
at
is
Miami and then at Baylor for both.
Yeah, those are two tough games for him. I think user wise, he's probably the worst user in both of those, but you never know. His team is really good. I'll give him that benefit. Like the Texas roster is probably top 5 in the league, right? Locke got to be top 5 in the league.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean that gives him a chance. On the road though, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical with those two, and then he still plays Ole Miss and maybe at Texas A&M. Is that what this says?
It does.
That in here? Yes. That's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
Bad work.
He's gonna have to get some big time wins for sure. That's the only way it's gonna happen. And yeah, he's got the roster, man, and he's solid for sure. It's just I can say this about everybody. There's no that whole league. Like anybody can beat anybody really. So it'll just be really interesting. The ACC is, I haven't seen the rest of the conferences, but this conference is got a lot of intrigue, I think.
Yes, sir. Just a quick overview. Biggest disappointments for you, Bagwork, out of the ACC so far.
I think it's an easy call. If we go to Florida, I don't know what's going on over there. The dude was in the conference championship last year. He has a good roster. He's a good user. He makes natties in a lot of leagues. He has had a really tough
schedule. Yeah, I was just looking at it. I was like,
he can easily turn this around. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he probably. I mean, a lot of people don't know the Arizona State user, but the Arizona State user has been to a natty in this league before with Florida. He probably really wanted to win that game because he's a huge Gator fan, and Florida was his team initially in this league before he had to take a break during year 3. So, the Arizona State user is very good. You see he's 3-1. We'll touch on him more later. He lost to Clemson, who's number 1 in the country, until he had an overtime loss versus Nebraska this week, and Tennessee is, won the natty last year. So, he isn't. I probably wouldn't have put my money on him on any of these games, which is no slight to him because he's played some of the top users. So, yeah, exactly. He can easily win every game of the conference. You know what I mean? So. And ran through the conference last year. So, we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. He's going to have to win. He's going to be locked in. He loves to play the game. I wish he would stream the motherfucking games. I saw you stream. I know you're probably not even going to watch this podcast, but I saw you stream for the first time in a long time the other day for another league. So put that stream up, bro. You're already playing on your computer anyways. We want to see these games. This conference is going to be this is our favorite conference. So it's gonna be a good watch.
Yeah, Fowles, is the 0-3 a little deceiving for the Gators this year to start out?
I would say it's really deceiving. And you said disappointment. I can't say I would be disappointed in the start just because you put any team. Those are some good teams, man. That's not an easy stretch of games. So I'm kind of giving him a break there. I think. If anything, he has some tough comp early. Maybe it'll help him shape his game up so when he gets into conference play, he can get right and make a little run.
Yes, sir. Tough. You may be able to lose one more because the rest of them, I believe, are conference games for him. But he could still make the conference championship and then sneak his way into the playoffs, kind of similar to what Ole Miss did last year. Started off slow, but ran into all the juggernauts early, but then steamrolled the rest of his way through the conference. Moving on to the Big 12, Nebraska. Give them a quick look. The opposite of 0-4. Wins over Miami, Texas, Georgia, and then Clemson. Bagwork, talk to me about how you feel about Nebraska starting off the season strong.
Yeah, he's doing what he's supposed to do. Getting the wins. Honestly, I think some of those games he had earlier are a little bit closer than I thought they would be. Won a really good game against Clemson. I saw the end of that game in overtime. So yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool to watch him use his legend. Run around with that guy. It'll definitely be our biggest test. Well, one of our, we played Clemson already this year, but that'll be another one of our big tests to finish off the out of conference next week. So he's handling business, man. Undefeated. We'll see if anybody can catch him slipping.
Fowles, you had a first-hand experience on watching the Cornhuskers play this year. How do you feel about him so far?
Yeah, he's still playing at a high level, man. He really is. That new quarterback you talked about I think you might have made him a little bit too nice. He was a problem. He's definitely a problem. He got hurt and he had to put his back up for a little bit. But man, he's gonna be a problem for years. He's kind of like that already. So I don't like that. Having to go against it, but it was a good game, man. When in overtime, I feel bad about quitting because the score looks all messed up now. But I didn't quit. I guess conceded, but I was just done playing at that point,
Still lucky kept the stats though.
Yeah, that was stats was stable. It just
It's
even
just
it
the
just looks
final score
weird.
that's messed up. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but nah, man, that's just what we expect. We every time we play, we set up a protected rivalry now, so it'll be every year thing. But it's always a pretty good game. It's always a pretty good game. So I wasn't even Bag asked me was I upset after, and I wouldn't even say that I was upset. I mean, you always hate to lose, but that one I can take that. At Nebraska overtime loss. There's worse losses out there.
Gotcha. Spoken like a true competitor. Let's take a look at this North Carolina. 99 overall team out of Carolina, 4-0 to start the season versus South Carolina, Georgia, TCU, and a win over LSU. Frost, do you think this is sustainable?
Yeah, man. Shout out, bro. He's been playing well to start the year. I think those first couple, he kind of, you expect him to get those. If the LSU one though, going to LSU and getting that done when he had a lot of visits, like a lot heavily invested into that game and getting that done, that's a great win. Great win for the program. I didn't realize his roster was 99 overall like that. So he's matching the roster up with the actual gameplay. It looks good for him right now. Next game, I'll be tuned in for that in 2 weeks when he goes at Arizona State.
Yes, sir.
Because yeah, man, it's just be a real good game. He's looking good right now though. Shout out UNC.
Bad work. Talk to me. What you got for UNC 4-0 hot start?
Yeah, I mean, shout out him, man. He's when I brought him to the league, I brought him one. I mean, he's a good user, and two, just because he's very good at recruiting and team building. And so, he started off with a not great roster, as some of his best players transferred after year one, too, because he didn't have like the best record that year. But he's weathered the storm and has a great roster. And hats off to him. Came to LSU and won that game. Definitely a painful loss. I don't feel like I should have taken that one, but he made the plays that matter. So shout out to him. And yeah, I mean, rest of the season wise, yeah, it'll be uh he's in the Big 12, okay. But so he's still got the Michigan out of conference game late in the season. Could make or break him. Um and in conference he has some tough ones. I mean, UCLA is no joke at 1-3. But he has a very good team, so he has that advantage. He hasn't been looking that good this year. Arizona State's going to be a huge one, like Fryles mentioned. Florida State's going to be a huge one, and then of course Nebraska and Oregon. So he's got at least 5 more tests. So he's got a little bit of a ways to go, but great start, man. And maybe this will be his year to break into the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Going with another. I wouldn't even say is this a shocker. Um, Bad work. Cole finally got the team to match the scheme with a good home field advantage and some good recruiting pipelines. Are we surprised at the initial outcome, and do you think this will continue into conference play?
I mean, definitely his early season schedule. I expected him to win all those games, and he did. You can see really what you should just take from this is the amount of points he's putting up each game. I mean, he's gonna do that to a lot of people. But his next 4 games are all gonna be very tough tests, and I think the 2 hardest ones are on the road. Well, he's also got to play Oregon on the road, but he's got 3 in a row on the road coming up. They're all gonna be tough. And those teams are gonna need to win those games too for this conference. So are those all conference games? Matter of fact, there's no way they are all in the same conference. They're all in the Big 12. That Big 12 is going to be, and Clemson FSU's a rivalry. That's tough. Yeah. So those, man, it don't actually his next 6 games are tough.
Oh wow. Okay.
And he really just gets one game off against Arkansas, and then he plays Florida. So I mean, he has a very tough schedule to end the season. If he gets through all that and still makes the playoffs, because the tough part is about when you lose. You know what I mean? So if
Yeah.
he drops 3 of those, it could really hurt his record. But because he's not ranked to start this situation, which is a killer. Like at least for example, I'm at LSU. I'm at 9. I lost to number 7. I'll still be at the top 25 even at 2-3. Even if I lose my next game, I'll probably still be at the back end of the top 25. Um, so yeah, I said that to say, it's a little bit tricky with that tough of a schedule to close the season, but he's capable, man, and I hope he does. He deserves it. But that's a gauntlet that I'm. So we'll see.
Yes, sir. Frowls, not to have you looking ahead to opponents, but FSU rivalry game in Death Valley. Um, is that one you have circled on the schedule?
Of course, man. Anytime Cole Taylor, I got a lot of respect for Cole, man, for sure. He's a good user. Always since he's been in the league, he competes for usually like championships and significant stuff with teams that can do it. So this is kind of what we were talking about before the year. Him moving, we expected big things. He started off well. Definitely circle, man. I'm glad it's at home. I'm man, thankful it's at home this year because looks like he's playing good ball.
Yes, sir. Glad to see it. Glad he's finally what appears to be have found a good home. And then shout out to so far as what I can see, most of the people in this conference stream. So just to take a quick break, it's appreciated when you stream so people could get eyes just to look at the game. Some people enjoy watching it. Some people just like to look. So for those that are streaming, thank you. Keep it up. Keep up the great work. For those that are not streaming, please, Florida, stream, especially since you keep seeming to be in these conference championships. It'd be nice to actually see what happens. Um,
Facts. Big facts.
moving on to let's move on to Oregon State quickly. KJ Kenzo back in the league. What you got for me, Fries? Got a top tier competitor doing big things already with a tough loss to Notre Dame on the road.
Yeah, man. This is we were kind of talking about him like he's one of the ones, and he shows up. He shows up, man. Always competes at a high level. Notre Dame, I'm sure we'll get to. Unfortunately, I'm just kidding. But we'll get to Notre Dame in a second, man. That's quality win for Notre Dame. But that's what Okenzo does, man. You got a good team. He's gonna win games. That's his track record. Um, I don't think I've been in the league with him when he played the whole year when he really did make the playoffs. Maybe like once, but usually he's in that mix. So it's good to see him back. It's good for the league, man. Just ups the level even more.
Yes, sir. Bagward, talk to me. Does he have what it takes to end up in that final game? Seeing he's already Notre Dame wasn't even a conference game, so he's still in good shape though. And then neither is Ohio State. So North Carolina, Oregon, Florida State, and Nebraska for the last game, which might be horrible timing for both of them. Realistically, how do you feel about him trying to stay atop of the conference going into the later half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, he's in the same boat with Florida State. I mean, they're going to have to win. Their conference is pretty tough. He's got another. I mean, his schedule is also somewhat of a gauntlet to end the season, or not even somewhat. I mean, once again, the only game I really see left might be somewhat of a break is Arkansas. So, you know, he's going to have to win a lot of these to get into the rankings, and losses are going to kill him. So. Got a shot though, man. I mean, him and Cole are, both I think some of the most skilled guys. So it'll be great to watch. And as you said, these guys tend to stream. So I'll definitely be locked in for a lot of these games. Some of these will probably end up being grudge matches. Certainly game of the week. So yeah, it'll be exciting. I don't know his chances. It's just that conference look kind of brutal. I mean, really what's interesting for me in that conference is will North Carolina and Oregon hold where they're at, because I would say I would take Florida State and UCLA to win those games against those guys, but if those two can hand them some L's, it'll be impossible for them to get in or do anything playoff wise. So I think it really hinges on what level North Carolina and Oregon can rise to, because I feel like I know where Arizona State and Florida State are going to be on a consistent basis.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Looking at the overall conference, got a lot of competitors. Oregon, we see. Shout out to you. You're balling right now. Keep up the good work. But I got one question for both of you quickly. Nebraska or the field in the Big 12 Fries? Who you got?
It's kind of a cop out to say Nebraska, but
Versus the
man, I
field?
really would.
Is it a cop out, really?
I think. I mean, yeah, just with his track record, I think somebody's really got to come take that from him. I would personally, selfishly, I mean, happy with what UNC is doing. You know, shout out Cole as well. I need to see. I want to see a Nebraska Arizona State conference championship. That's what I would love to see, because Okendo can get them for sure, and Nebraska plays at such a high level. So selfishly, I would love that matchup. I'm still going to take Nebraska though.
Over the field, okay. Bagwork, who you got? Nebraska or the field?
Yeah, I mean, I can't pick against Nebraska. I mean, I've said I think he's the most talented in the league, skill wise. You know, he's got a great team. That freshman quarterback he has. Um, this is the year to get him because yeah, he's going to turn into a problem down the line. Um, so yeah, I'm taking Nebraska, but you know, I think Florida State can get him as well. I think Florida State and Arizona State could get him. I think Florida State can beat him in a shootout. I think we've seen Arizona State beat him. So you know, one of those two might get him. If someone else can get him in conference, you know, be it North Carolina, Oregon, or UCLA gave him a great game, couple good games last year. So, you know, maybe one of those guys can give him an L. And then if Florida State and Arizona, I wouldn't be as surprised if they give him an L. And maybe he doesn't make the conference championship game. That would be crazy. But yeah, I say that's not that likely. So I'm gonna stay with him.
All right, Nebraska over the field with Florida State, Oregon, and Arizona State playing good ball right now. But we'll see. We'll see. Moving on to the Big Ten. Iowa, Washington, Michigan, OU, LSU. Bad work. Talk to me. We had you picked out in the conference championship. What's going on early in the season for LSU?
Well, I mean, look, we lost two top 10 teams. Against Clemson, he outplayed us, kind of getting used to our team roster. And, you know, we lost that one. We lost twice at home this year, which is just brutal. But, yeah, I mean, just kind of getting used to, you know, we got a new quarterback, you know, not mobile. He's very good, though. I like him. You know, I mean, I'm not tripping about it. But, you know, finding ourselves a little bit, but luckily we haven't played any conference games yet, so hopefully we can get things together and sneak into these playoffs.
Yes, sir. Frowls. Looking at the rest of his schedule, starts off already took a tough L at home, as he said. Then to Nebraska, Michigan, OU. How do you feel like his season finishes up?
It's almost early to say it, but I feel like he almost needs to win this game coming up. Like it's almost as close to a must win as you can get, just because we talked about those losses. Like once you get to like four is like the limit. So to get to 3 this early, then you got to go at Michigan the next week. You still got Xavier on the schedule. Bam might be back by then. It's tough. So I'm sure from his perspective, he really will be locked in this week to get that one, because I don't think either of his 2 losses are bad losses, but man, it don't get much easier. Nebraska, we know Nebraska, Michigan playing good ball. Zevi is started off slow, but his track record is like that. So, man, I think he is in like a must-win situation this week for real.
Yeah, actually, I see what you're saying. Not a conference game, but I don't know if I want to call it a must win, but it's teetering that line.
It's close, right? Yeah.
It's like right on that line. Because let's say, and do a little thought experiment. Let's just stay with me for a minute. You win these next 3.
The next 3, I mean, but it's still at the end. It's tough still.
Yeah, so I'm saying you win the next 3, and then give me a coin flip between Oklahoma and Iowa. Do you think you make the playoffs?
Um, if I win the next three and split those two, yeah, I'll probably get in. Because I just don't think my overall is going to be, especially if I beat Nebraska, my overall, I mean, my top 25 ranking will be pretty high still. You know what I mean? Because I only would lose to teams that are in the top, whatever, 10. So, I think I'll still be hovering around 15 or so. And if I'm not in the conference championship game, then I'll sneak in. You know what I mean? But if I do all that and make the conference championship game, then I have to win the conference championship game to get in.
Right.
But well, pretty much either way. Like if I lose to Nebraska, then well, I don't think the Nebraska game is must win. It basically is just a needed win to not be 2-3, and potentially drop out of the top 25. But even if I lose to Nebraska, I think if I win out the rest, then or even I could even still lose one more. But I need to win a lot and the conference championship. I'm in a tough spot regardless. Just need to win some fucking football games. But yeah, I mean, Iowa's a really good player. My toughest games are all on the road now. So I mean, Nebraska is my last home game. Then I'm gonna have Michigan on the road, Oklahoma on the road. I don't know why Frows brings up Alabama, but because we're not. We don't.
Wow.
Not worried about that one at all. But Iowa, Iowa on the road, and even Washington. I think is better than Alabama is, and Wisconsin. I mean, the new Wisconsin user is not bad at all. So I mean,
yeah, I watched the stream
we have
yesterday. So
we have some new users, some old users. I mean, our conference is very solid. To run through it all would be a huge accomplishment. But that's what we're gonna have to do. I mean, our schedule's not easy, so we'll see what happens. But luckily these are out of conference. Hopefully we can make some noise in the conference. Making the playoffs, they're going to have to just finish really strong. I mean, as I said, you might get two more losses, but it's going to be really tricky. So
yes, sir. Frows looking at right now. Not a lot of conference games played, but so far, biggest shocks of the league for the Big Ten. What would be two shocks? Big shocks for you?
For me, I'm gonna say I was hot start. I don't really haven't dove too much into who they've necessarily played, but I was starting off hot. Shout out to them for that. And we talked about bag work enough, so I'm gonna say Zevi with two early losses because I don't think we've really seen him play from like that. Um, like playing not an underdog, but just playing from not being undefeated or not, being near the top of the league. So interesting to see how he'll attack that because he's, gonna have to lock in and turn around. Two losses early is tough to come back from. He does, and he still got LSU on the schedule. That's gonna be honestly for y'all. That one, I don't know. I feel like that's gonna have a lot of implications. Really
oh,
do.
definitely.
Bad work. Who you got? Two biggest shockers in the league right now.
The Big Ten.
Yeah.
Shockers. Washington being 4-1. I mean, I know Iowa's a good user. And I don't think he has the toughest out of conference schedule, so we'll see how he does in conference. But Washington being 4-1, regardless of who he's played, I would say is up there with the shockers. And second shocker, I would say, I mean, it's got to be me and Oklahoma just having two losses apiece. I don't think that's typical out of conference work. But I mean, neither one of us have bad losses necessarily, but I don't know. I think the worst loss out of both of us is probably me to UNC at home. Oklahoma lost to Notre Dame at home too. Um, so yeah, I mean that's probably it right there.
Yes, sir. Still a lot of conference games left though. A lot of conference games. A lot of work to be done. A lot of games to be played. So still up in the air right now, but we're moving on to the SEC. Notre Dame out the gate with big wins over Arizona State and Oklahoma. If I would have told you he had a stretch of these three teams and went 2-on-1. Fries, would you have taken that?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll take the outcome. I mean, that's man. Shout out him. I would not have expected that at all. But he's, we were kind of asking. Well, maybe not we, just me. I've been asking for him to kind of take that next step, and he's got two high quality wins already this year. So another test next week for him. If he, hey man, if he if he knocks
3-0
out
in that
Tennessee,
stretch? Yeah.
hey man, I got nothing else to say about him. I really don't, because that's a crazy stretch of football. But it's good to see him kind of silencing the haters a little bit. Hopefully he keeps it up.
Bad work. Early start to Notre Dame, 5-star school. Are you a little shocked his roster isn't better with the recruiting hours and what he has versus the schedule and what he has going on?
I mean, he fucked himself with his roster, to be honest, because I mean, I guess Carr was isn't did Carr go to the draft? I think he did.
Yeah.
He didn't play Carr. Carr left early. He had a really good running back who left early. And then he just got beat out on a lot of recruits. Especially on the secondary. But he spent a lot of money on elite recruiter and it paid off. I know he got a really good 4-star gem free safety who's like 94 speed coming in next year, and he's probably about to get this corner too who's good, so it's gonna pay off for him. But they still got a dev. He's got that legend playing at quarterback. Yeah, I mean, I think he's just kind of, he had a top class, matter of fact, like last year. He had number one class, and the year before he was also, I believe, in the top 5 classes. So he's actually done a good job recruiting. I think he's just got kind of screwed over with combination of players leaving and the players he brought in not being like elite dev, even though they were high stars. It's kind of cooked him. So, but he'll be all right. I mean, 94 is not bad, so he'll be okay. Maybe we can go to his roster, but he's almost a lock for the play. Yeah, he's pretty much a lock for the playoffs. He still has some tough ones. He has Tennessee, Ohio State, Clemson still on his thing, but he's got 2 more guaranteed wins to get him to 6 wins. Or yeah, 2 more CPUs to get him to 6 wins, and then the Colorado user. Actually, I don't know if he's locked in. All of his user games, man, the league is deep, but all of his user games are games he can lose. So, and 3 of those, I would say I would pick him to lose. But he can also win all of them. You know what I mean? So yeah. It'll be interesting. But if he drops those 3 ranked games and then also loses to, South Carolina's a good user and USC's a good user, Colorado I haven't seen play. So he could still slip up after this hot start. So, but hopefully he doesn't. He's been doing his thing. Hopefully he knocks some of those dudes off. Pause.
Wow. I see what you're saying. The scary part for him, even though he's playing good ball, is the spacing of those ranked games. So if he loses to Tennessee, Agreed. He drops. He could climb back up with Stanford. Possible lose to Ohio State. Drops again. Then 2 weeks off and then lose in week 11. Even at a high rank, that 3rd loss that late in the season could hurt him. So play good ball, but I'd rather have those games grouped close together earlier in the season than spaced out like that. But again, league's deep, still got to play good ball. Fries, who else you got in the SEC outside? Actually, no, let's talk about yourself. I'm gonna force you to talk about yourself, sir. Sipping on Mike's the secret stuff out the blue bottle from Space Jam, balling right now with a last-second loss to Nebraska. What changed this season for you to be on such a level, and the team don't match the scheme, but you getting dubs? What's happening out here, sir?
Man, I don't know. We're just trying to take it one game at a time for real. I did ask, scheduled requests. I asked for the best users in the league, and Bagwork gave me some good users to start early. So I appreciate that. a lot of luck too. Like LSU, he was at the time. I know he was more upset because I got like every break in that game. I can't lie and say I didn't. We won, but it was like one of my favorite Zebby game. I think that one I just came out and played pretty good ball. Um, I didn't feel like that was too close. I kind of let off the gas at the end, but whatever reason, I just felt good. And then Florida, we scratched one out. Hey man, I don't know if anything really changed mindset wise, but I know I've been trying to go out of my way to lock in, and not play any kind of music or anything during the games and do what I need to do. So, and then roster wise, I lost one of my stud corners torn ACL last week. That's gonna hurt us, but I think I got a quarterback and two good running backs, and I got a couple good players on defense who can rush the passer and a good user. So that's really all I need. I think everything else is up to me to lock in. So we're feeling good right now.
Yes, sir. Bag work. Talk to me. Um, on a roll early right now. Do you think, and what really hinders your overall probably is your depth, not your starters. And since we're talking about wear and tear in when your corners being out, Bagwork, do you think he has the depth to go deep into the season with a Week 9 Ohio State, 11 Notre Dame, and then a 12 Tennessee to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I think he does. I mean, last year he was playing really good ball. Could have easily won the conference, won the championship. I mean, he beat Tennessee. Did he beat Tennessee twice last year?
No, he beat me in the conference championship
That's right.
in overtime.
That
I
was a
think or
close.
late. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good game. I think he just had a slip up in the semifinal. But he was playing really good ball last year and is kind of just continuing down that path. Yeah, but I mean, tough games. I mean, that at Florida State game is going to be very tough. Down a corner you're gonna feel that against his passing attack, and it's gonna be on the road. That'll be a huge win if you can get it. Don't sleep on USC. Luckily, oh wait, no, you play Florida State at home, so that's good in your favor. But USC, we'll see if he's the real deal or not. That'll be a big test for him. Um, Florida State at home is nice. At Ohio State's going to be a tough one. At Notre Dame's going to be a tough one versus Tennessee, and that's South Carolina usually is pretty good too. So playing him on the road, but I mean, I think he could win all those games. So I don't think I would be shocked if he loses. Like, I mean, certainly shocked if he loses 3 games. So, and I probably would take him in all these games. So, yeah, I would expect him to be in the playoffs, kind of just a matter of where, and I don't think anybody really wants to see him in the playoffs. So that's kind of how I see it going. It'll just be a matter of, does he get a conference championship? Does he get a bye? That type of thing. But I don't, strong start. I don't think he falls out of the race without a total collapse. I mean,
Gotcha. Good to see. Let's touch on USC quickly. Got wins over Arkansas, Boise, and South Carolina, and a loss to Ohio State to start their conference play. Do you think they continue their hard start throughout the SEC backward?
he's got a really easy schedule. And then the first tough opponent he plays at home, he gets smacked. So I'm gonna say, good for his. He's managed to keep 4 stars, even though having a pretty abysmal first 3 years in the league. But no, I don't see it. I think he has the best record he's had on this season, but I don't think he gets either of these next 2 games coming up, and then, the rest of the season, those will be close games. I think. I mean, I think that's a game Georgia's gonna like, UCLA is gonna like, and Notre Dame's gonna like. But I don't know if he gets either of these next 2, and that'll change the season for him. If he can get one of those 2, I think we have a totally different conversation. But if he goes 0-3 against these 3 users who are very tough, I think his season's kind of cooked, especially not being ranked to start the situation. To lose to those three and then not have anyone ranked again until Notre Dame, who he could beat, but Notre Dame's playing good ball. I don't see it.
Gotcha. Who else? Ohio State, one of the big shockers in the conference, already down 2 losses. He was excited to be outside of the conference from OG, and got exactly what he asked for. Frost, do you feel like he could bounce back to make a run at the conference title?
Oh yeah, I think everything's still in play for him, conference title wise. His early at Baylor loss, I'm definitely surprised by a little bit, but it's a tough league. It's a tough league. But no, I expect him to be heavily in the mix, at least for the conference title. It's gonna be tough to. I don't know. The playoff path's a little bit muddy, right? Because you got to play at Arizona State, still has Nighthawk, Notre Dame. I play him, plays Michigan. Like it's not an easy schedule at all. So that Baylor loss might be the one that ends up keeping him out for real. I mean, it happened early in the year, but just numbers wise, that was a big loss.
Bad work. Arizona State, Notre Dame, Clemson, and Tennessee. What is the split for those games that he needs to make the playoffs?
Well, he needs to. Definitely needs to. If he can find a way to get 3, he's pretty much golden. So, that's what it comes down to. If he can get 2, though, particularly if he can get Arizona State, and not have that drop due to the rankings, Arizona State might be ranked next week, but they'll be in the 20s if they are. If he can get that win, he'll definitely slide back up into the top 10, and then he'll play 3 users who probably also will be in the top 10. So if he can get 1 out of those 3, he'll still, worst case, be hovering around 15 again. Or maybe even like the 20s, and he'll be able to climb back up if he can win out. So he needs the Arizona State win. If he loses that game, I think he needs to win. He'll need to win 3.
Okay.
Out of Notre Dame, Clemson, Tennessee.
He's already at 15. I was gonna say any spot for 4 losses, but I don't see it if he's already at 15.
I think he could get in with 4 losses. If he beats Arizona State, Colorado, right, he'll be in the top 10. Then, if he drops, let's just say, Notre Dame, Clemson, and then beats Tennessee, who's like ranked in the top 5, he'll be back in the teens. And then if he can win out, then he'll be okay. I think. Because I think a lot of these top teams, like, they're going to end up taking losses as the season goes on. Especially like conference championship. So he can hang around with 4 losses, I think. But you hate to be in that position, right? You much rather be starting off 8-2, something like that, right? So to be 2-2 this early is always tough. I'm in the same boat, so.
Yes, sir. I believe that is it for conference standings, because there's no Pac-12. But now to everybody's favorite section. Moving on to the top 25. If you don't like it, change it. Say something, do something. Got to get them rankings, fellas. Got to get them rankings. Top 25 only. I'm gonna start with bad work, because Fries likes to be a little too polite. Who you got in your S tier?
Here, right now, I'm gonna go 1 Nebraska, 2 Tennessee, and I'm gonna put Clemson at 3, which is up from not being in the S tier, and that's what the only people I'm putting in there.
All right, Fries, who you got?
Man, I'm still putting Nebraska 1, Tennessee 2, or maybe we can flip this order. I'm put Tennessee 1, Nebraska 2, just because Tennessee's coming off a championship. Um,
Oh,
and
yeah, me too. Actually, forgot about that.
based off so far though, I would like to put myself in there at the bottom of S. Still, I still think I got a lot to prove. And Notre Dame been playing really good ball, bro. I'm not quite there yet. I can't go from where I was on Notre Dame. So I would keep it just those for right now.
Everybody only has 3, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
So
What do you have, Drew?
It'd be the same 3, but moving on to A, that means big departures for both of these teams. LSU and Oklahoma Friars. So you got an A tier then.
A tier. I'm still gonna put. Let me give Notre Dame his credit, man. He's got to be in there. He's got too many high quality wins so far. And UNC is playing good ball. I'm gonna put UNC, Notre Dame, and I'm gonna give them track record. I'm still gonna put in Oklahoma. LSU is right on the border for me, so I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna motivate him a little bit. I'm gonna say that's my 3 for that A tier.
All right. We cooking with fish grease now. Bagwork, who you got?
In the A tier,
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go. Notre Dame as 1. Then I'm gonna go Oklahoma still at 2. Then I'm gonna go UNC at 3. Then I'm gonna go LSU at 4. And can you scroll down?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So hold on. I'm gonna reset this whole thing. I'm gonna go Ole Miss is 1 in the A tier.
Okay.
Two, I'm gonna go Notre Dame. 3, I'm gonna go Oklahoma. I'm gonna slide everyone down, right? So I got 5 in the A tier so far. And actually, in front of LSU as the last team in the A tier, I'm gonna put Ohio State. So I got 6 in my A tier.
Miss, Notre Dame, OU, UNC,
Ohio State, LSU.
Okay. All right. Question for the both of you. No love for Oregon?
I mean, he's 3-1 for me. He's 3-1. This game against Texas A&M kind of would say a little bit more for me, but he's 3-1. Baylor had a nightmare game against him, who also isn't in the A tier, right? So his only win, and then he played one team from the A tier that he actually played. He got a fair sim win against Ohio State, and Ohio State was blasting him, albeit breaking the rules. But he played Oklahoma and got smacked. So I mean, as you see right there, he lost 20. Oklahoma's been struggling, and he lost 24-7 at home to Oklahoma. So I can't put him in the A tier.
All right.
I wish we had a stream right now because
that's exactly what I was trying to look up. I thought it was.
I was looking right now. They're playing because I see.
I was about to mention them, but I'm not even.
Your dog, but yeah,
I'm not even going to mention. I'm just going to take that deduction. That deduction is going to hurt though, because this year we got something coming. Another addition for the league. We're going to have playoff pick'em back, and how playoff pick'em is going to work is the points are going to be worth physical and non-physical, but these deductions are going to take away from your points at the end. So, dudes are probably going to end up with, if you have a decent playoff pick'em, you're going to get 10 points. 3 of those will be physical. But if you don't have your streams, that's coming off your physical.
Ooh.
That's going to be pain. It's going to be pain. Dudes are going to feel that.
Man. I think streams, I know it's hard to make it truly mandatory. Sometimes just, you just can't do it connection-wise or whatever. But like Terrell was saying earlier in the pod, man, get those streams in, please. We like to watch y'all play. Also, it helps just eliminate some of the back and forth because we got multiple people watching. We can see exactly what happened. Get those get those streams up, man.
Yes, sir. All right, moving on to B tier. Files, who you got for B tier?
My B tier will be. I don't even see. Where's Ole Miss ranked? Are they 20? What's he at?
Ole Miss is ranked 2.
2.
Oh damn it! My bad, Ole Miss. I missed Ole Miss
Lost to
on my
Tennessee, but Tennessee's in the S tier taking his L, so it's not a bad L at all.
It's definitely not a bad L. I would probably, if I'm being realistic, I put him at the bottom of my A tier. I would have to.
Okay.
Went to Natty last year, started off. Yeah, I'm sliding him in there. But my next tier will be LSU. It would be. I would give Oregon his credit. I wish I would be able to watch this game right now to kind of see what's going on. And it sounds like he might be losing. But for now, time of this podcast, I'm going to put Oregon in there. And I'm sorry, Baylor. Baylor's not in this tier for me. Just from what I've seen so far this year. Any other ranked teams? Is that it?
Yeah, Ohio State, Iowa, Texas A&M at the bottom.
Ohio State got to be in there too. Definitely give him his credit. Ohio State's in that mix. And then Iowa, I don't know about the quality. I'm a wait and see still on Iowa. Definitely giving him his credit. I just haven't seen him play enough users for me to be able to quantify like what he's actually doing as of right now.
Okay. Bagwork, who you got rounding out for your B tier?
Me, B tier. Yeah, I wish I could base it on. Can you go to Texas A&M schedule, please? Michigan, LSU, wins against Penn State. Okay, so yeah, if I'm going B tier, I gotta go Oregon at the top of that. For mine. Then I'm gonna probably go. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna have to go Oregon. Then this is at the time of this because yeah, as y'all said, it sounds like Texas A&M's winning that game, and that game, whatever. But at the time of this, okay, Texas A&M is 1-2, so I'm gonna go 2. I'm gonna go Iowa at 3-0. 3 Baylor, and 4 Texas A&M. And the reason why I'm saying Baylor at 3 because they could be 1, but throwing 5 picks again at home against Oregon, I can't put you ahead of him after that. And but he did beat Ohio State. Ohio State has only 1 true loss to Baylor. He lost by 1 at home, so yeah, tough call with those B tier rankings. Iowa, I know is a good user, and he's 3-0. We'll see how he keeps progressing. So yeah, that's how I round it.
All right, you heard it here first. No love for Texas A&M.
But the thing is, it seems like he's winning his game he's in right now, so slide up.
Okay. I'm gonna throw some gas on this. Bagwork, defend 2 losses early in the season, 1 to an unranked Michigan for him to be B tier.
Well, I mean, Michigan's 3-1. You should be 4-0.
Unranked is unranked. I'm not gonna argue with the computer. You got somebody in B tier that's.
He lost on the road in one of the toughest stadiums in the game to a Michigan team that should be 4-0. That's a pretty good loss. Losing at home by 2 touchdowns to LSU. My team's loaded. Not that mad at that. You handle business against Penn State on the road. So yeah, I don't think he has a bad loss per se.
And before you finish, we not gonna dock points for no stream?
Oh no, he's losing the points for no stream. I mean, he's at the bottom of my power ranking, so I don't know what else you want me to do, but But I don't think he has any bad losses, man. Especially if he beats Oregon. I mean, he's right back in the mix. He'll be, in playoff position really, and then, he's got some decent games coming up. But he could easily, especially if he beats Oregon, he could easily win his next 5.
So you're saying he's favored against Miami?
I would say he's favored against Miami, even on the road. Yeah, I mean that'll be a tough game. I think Miami's beaten him a lot of the last times he's played, but Chuck can win that game anytime. And Miami has been playing he has been playing good ball in other leagues, but that'll be a really good game. That'll be another one where definitely will test him, but he could win that easily. I mean, they have a pretty good rivalry going back and forth, and then same with Baylor. That's not an easy one, but. Yeah, I mean, I think he's in. As we said, the ACC is going to be a really interesting conference. I think Miami's out of that conference, or no?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh no, Miami's in the ACC. So okay. Yeah, so I mean, it'll be interesting. But he can definitely make some noise, man. That Ole Miss, that Oregon win will be a big one. And then South Carolina's solid, Miami's solid, Baylor's solid, Auburn's solid. Ole Miss is going to be a real tough one on the road.
That's 3 tough to finish the season, though.
3 tough ones to finish the season. So, I mean, in terms of making the playoffs, tough, right? But, I mean, I think he can win all of these games he's going to play down the stretch. I mean, I think he can win all of them. So, the only one where the only 2 actually really where I'm going to say, it's kind of tricky is at Ole Miss and at Florida, but the rest, I mean, toss up. But I mean, yeah, making the playoffs is gonna be tough, man. At Miami, his 4, the 4 toughest probably by, in my opinion, user skill that he has left on the schedule are all on the road, which you hate to see. And then he plays the loaded, not down overall Texas team last game of the year, so tricky for sure. But I don't think he has a bad loss.
Gotcha. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. That's the rankings. That's the S tier files, sir. I got something for you. I need you to post your rankings this week.
Yeah, I got you.
Bagwork be tagging us like we're scared or something.
Yeah.
Like we be.
Nah, right.
I think y'all are. I don't know what it is. Like y'all don't like having people like say something to you. Y'all scared of the people,
Crazy part is don't nobody really say nothing. Don't nobody really say nothing. So
well, there's nothing to say when there's no, I'm the only one. They come me, but yeah, you're not posting nothing. So what are you gonna say?
It's not a
Ole
scare
Miss was a little salty.
I get a post.
I think Ole Miss was a little salty one week, but I think there was justification behind it. So. Yeah, I'll just letting y'all know that it will be posted. I don't want people. There's not even people. I don't want Bagwork tagging me talking about. We waiting on these 2 dudes to post. So probably we gotta show up this week.
Yeah, we will.
He gonna say something if we don't, because we're not scared. We're not running right here. If you listening, if you watching, thank you. Appreciate you coming out. Frowls, you got anything before we hit the road?
On a similar topic, I don't know how I feel. It's complicated, I guess. Like I like the back and forth of the league because we got Jay Roth and.
Oh, we was gonna get to that in a second.
Okay, good. I'm glad you were, because man, those 2. And then we also had, was it Arkansas and somebody else got into it, also like crazy in the chat.
Was it
Arkansas and Wisconsin. Wisconsin was just Wisconsin is a big time troller.
Man,
and they was going back and forth.
So man.
I mean, he was just smacking them, and he ended up coming back at the end, almost winning. But
so yeah, I don't know. I just want to touch on that. It's just people just talking crazy to each other. But I don't know how y'all feel about it.
Yeah, how do you feel about it? Ohio State wouldn't mind his business, and then it seems like J. Roth keeps poking the bear, and his response is, "I just beat you in the grind." He's like, "I just smacked you 50-0 in the league." How do you feel about that back and forth between them 2?
That one specifically?
Yeah, just that one.
I mean, look, yeah, he did smack J-Rod 50-0, but I don't know what this. I think the series overall, Ohio State is winning, but on the other side of that, Ohio State is a 99 overall team with a bunch of 99 speed players playing against a Miami team that's, doesn't really even have a quarterback.
Why doesn't
And
he
it was
have
a
a
meaning.
quarterback though?
Look, that's on him, right? But you win that game. You won that
we
game with
year
a
4, and we still talking about we ain't got a quarterback.
right. I mean, his quarterback's not even that bad. I'm just saying, he doesn't have like a star at quarterback or anything. But I just have to say that the teams are very uneven. But he still went on the road. He's still being 50-0, which is bad. But that's the second to last time they played. The last time they played in a meaningful game, this is a conference championship game, winner go home, go to the playoffs game. I think Elworm went to sleep or whatever, or was sleeping on that game because he just smacked him 50-0. Maybe he wasn't locked in, but his Iowa team he loves to say is the last team picked in the grind. It's a 4-star team. It's one of the best teams in the grind. It's a top 10 roster in the grind at the end of the day, or easily top 15, just to save the argument. Top half of the league roster. Illinois' roster is marginally better, probably, definitely marginally better, but even teams, way more. Game matters a lot more, and J. Ross snuck out and won. So I mean, I think J. Ross has a right to talk some trash there, and at the end of the day, he's won the last time they played. At the end of the day, bottom line, it's a rivalry. It has to be at this point. Not a protected rivalry because J-Rod has no chance of overcoming that 50-point thrashing he took. But at the end of the day, look, I mean, J-Rod got his win. J-Rod's got a few wins. He just beat OG, who's Worm's partner, in a playoff game after that. So, J-Rod just standing on business. Worm loves to talk a whole bunch of shit all the fucking time. So I'm glad somebody's saying something back to him when they do beat him.
Fries, who you think got the upper hand right now?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, right now, J. Roth did get him in that conference championship, but from the league podcast that we focus on, I'm saying, I mean, 50-0 is tough to. I understand the team difference, but 50-0 is that's an ass whooping, man. It's hard to. You don't see that in this league from even like shout out Coach Carver days. He didn't even get beat like that most of the time. 50-0 is crazy. So I'm gonna say Elworm still got a lot to talk about in terms of like who's out ahead in the rivalry.
Yes, sir. I guess I'll give J. Rod his respect for what he did in the grind and sticking around for 50-0. Let's not overlook the fact that he stayed in the game for it to be 50-0. I know it's a lot of dudes that hop out when it's a 15-20 point difference with less than 2 minutes. But he stuck around to that final whistle, so I guess respect for that.
Definitely.
Commish, you got anything for the league?
No, I mean, I already, get in those protected rivalries. I think that's a nice way to upgrade your teams. And, I told you what's coming with the, all right, hold on. Let's backtrack for a second. In the chat right now, Oregon's talking about fucked me with this terrible team. He has Oregon number one of the easiest teams to build in the game, and his roster is. I'm actually on the game right now, so I'm just gonna just because I think these messages people send are hilarious. Dude says he has a terrible team. When I go to his roster, the dude's team is
This isn't his first year with Oregon, is it?
He's had Oregon since year one. He has a 99 overall defense. He has like 8 players ranked over 90 overall. He has, he has a not great quarterback. That might be due to him just not recruiting. He's had the team since year one. This is his 3rd year with the team. He has a really good running back. He has solid receivers. He has a decent tight end. He has his lines all over 80. He has an elite dev, true freshman on one edge, and a very good dude on the other edge. He has a beast of a D tackle. He has a great linebacking core. He has solid corners. He has debatably the best free safety in the league and the best strong safety. And he has probably the two best strong safeties on his roster, three great safeties. And he's crying about his team. Look, bro, you just get your ass whooped. I mean, it's not your team, bro. It's year 4. You've had the team for 3 years. It's not your team, bro. You just be getting cooked. Simple as that. But yeah,
Damn.
that's all I got to say.
That's crazy. That's terrible.
I mean, it is. Dudes always complain about their teams, bro. Like, you've had the team for so long. Are not year one. Like the Colorado user, the Iowa user, Wisconsin dude's been here for 1 year and they're getting teams at 80 overall, bro. You got Oregon after you were there even before year 1 ended. You've been in 4 transfer portals or whatever. So, I mean, 3, I guess. It's like, bro, you had this team for a long time. They are how they are because of you. And I mean, it's not why you lost to Texas A&M. Your team's not worse than Texas A&M's team. You know what I mean? Like,
what's wrong with this team?
So yeah, just don't tell me about your team, bro. Be like UNC, bro. UNC's got a team built together. You got to work on your team building.
You know what the problem is? He's not recruiting quarterbacks out of California.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure I could go look and just see that he's just not, doing things. I mean, I know in the league he runs, he has Alabama. I don't think he's ever been to the championship game with that team in that league. Look, it's not Alabama. I mean, it's as close to Alabama as you can get without being Alabama. But look, bro, if you're not getting the job done, it's a skill issue. It's not your team situation.
Talk to him. Fries, you got anything for the people before we head out?
I'm all good, man. Seeing if we're getting this advance though from commish. That's what I'm checked in on.
I'm about to advance right now. Let me see. So Texas A&M won that game. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust my power rankings. Texas A&M won 24-0 on the road.
24-0. Wow.
Ooh.
Didn't realize that.
Okay. You got
Might have to do the same,
Iowa,
actually.
Baylor, and Texas A&M.
Yeah, I'm putting Texas A&M at the top of the power rankings now.
We swapping Oregon and Texas A&M.
Yeah, mine got to.
Okay.
I mean, his only win that's any good is a sim win.
Right.
Against Ohio State.
Gotcha. Fries, you keeping it the same or are you rolling?
I'm gonna have to move some stuff around. I think at 24, nothing's a little bit crazy. I didn't realize it was like that over there. Probably boost A&M up a little bit. I don't think I had him in my tier yet, so I might slide him in that B tier. Move some stuff around a little bit.
Gotcha. All right, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all coming out. If you don't like what we got to say, change it in the league or let us know in the Discord. We're happy to hear it. We appreciate y'all for coming out. Fries, bag work. Gentlemen, thank you again. I appreciate y'all, and I'll check y'all next time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Peace.